Hello. I am in my room because it's ice cold and I have my room heated up. Papa dog went outside into the garden and I'm still listening to Valentina Lisitsa playing, and it's powerful and beautiful. I want to show my rock because that rock is healing. It's healing energy for Emma Mertens and for all of us. We all need healing, every one of us. Everyone needs to heal. Mentally, psychologically, spiritually. I don't like the word that much, but energetically is better, sounds better. Physically, on all levels, the whole world needs healing. We're not separated from one another. So when someone gets sick, there's a reason for it. There's an energetic reason for it. And it's a domino effect. And it affects everyone, is in this domino chain, of people get exposed to pesticides, they get exposed to all kinds of chemicals, in the air, water, in the food. Life is not the way it used to be, around 1900. That was, that was still a good time, but then I don't know at what point they started to use nitrates as chemical fertilizers. They didn't put the dung back into the crop fields. They started to deplete. Rudolf Steiner warned people about this, no one listened. So all of this has effects on animals and humans, on their health. All of this is a strain on the immune system. Stress, lots of stress, lots of peer pressure. The internet, is full of pain, emotional pain. It's harsh on children. And there's not much education out there. Education is not in our face, into our faces. What's into our faces is corporate commercials and making people feel insecure so that they will buy corporate products. It's about corporatism. And they think in terms of profit maximization and not in terms of health maximization. Okay? So I think in terms of health maximization. That is what my life is about. And it will always be about that. Okay? And I'm always gonna be worried and concerned for everyone out there, for the whole world, for every living being. That's why I make videos. This rock here, I found this rock in Virgin Valley, Nevada. This rock is a powerful blue god rock. And it gives healing energy to the whole world. It has endlessly much healing power, this rock. It's a vortex of healing power. It's an amazing material. It feels amazing, absolutely incredible. When I hold it on my skin, this rock is infinite power, infinite healing power. For the whole world, for every living being. And I also want to talk about Joy Dior, the perfume. It is an incredible, incredible masterpiece, Joy Dior. It makes me feel so much better, you know. I was in a contemplative mode today, all day long. I cried a lot. It's all part of the healing journey. Cried a lot about many different things, but they all ultimately tie in with one another. It's that matrix, that soup of suffering in the world that's going on, of animals, children and adults, hardships, emotional pain, stress, pressure from society. So Joy Dior and Valentina Lisitsa playing the piano, those are things that are very healing. And this infinitely powerful rock. And most of all, my infinite love to the Papa Dog. Papa Dog is my nurse. I call him my schöne Nöse, which translates to beautiful nurse. He's my beautiful nurse. And all of these things are extremely comforting. They are a loving embrace. They are a buffer, they are a puffer, they are a padding of love. And I am that padding of love for him.
Did he come back in?
I think he's still outside. It's very cold outside. Papa Dog does his Zen walk through the garden. He goes all the way out there. He has a specific route that he walks. It is a walk of mindfulness. There's my Papa Dog, yes. Oh. And classical music has always been an anchor for me in my entire life. It is something that grounds you, something that is so much greater and vaster than any kind of emotional resistance or struggle, strife or feud or grudge or worry about, people or social kind of issues. It's so much vaster than any of that. So that's what we need. Everyone needs this. Everyone should listen to Valentina Lisitsa playing Rachmaninoff, Liszt, Beethoven, Chopin, Mozart, Bach. Every day listen to her for at least an hour. It will ground you, it will make you feel better. Makes me sad when I watch documentary films and I see the kind of music that people listen to. And then I'm not surprised that many of these people are suffering and in so much despair. Listen to grounding music. Very important. There's a power in classical music, particularly in the way Valentina Lisitsa plays piano. There's a power in it that is infinite, that is so beyond vanity and self-images and prestige and any of these things, any of this wanting to be pretty or wanting to compete. So much more powerful. All the angel souls and the God level souls and the Buddha level souls and the indigo souls and even the light worker souls, even they all understand, they know. And I know that the students of life and the stagnators, they deep down understand it too. It will resonate with them too. So my message to all of them is always open your minds up to infinity. Always do. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of being who you are. An infinitely precious living being. So many act outs. So much emotional pain in the world. So much suffering because of self-image proliferation. And it's interesting that Jennifer Lawrence has made a Joy Dior commercial. It's very interesting that this wasn't planned or anything. Interesting that I am making a supposed video about this. I mean, I talk like 99% about other things. But this video is dedicated for the perfume Joy by Christian Dior, even though I hardly talk about it, as in almost every other video as well. But I will talk about it for sure. I just want to say that it's interesting that I'm making a video talking about this day, the way it started, waking up, thinking about my brother, thinking about having these thoughts about, I feel insignificant, and there's an embarrassment that comes up with this feeling of insignificance, and I feel it through the energy that my brother is vibrating at the moment. He's halfway around the globe, but I can still feel it. And there's a price that comes with being psychic. It's not just a picnic in somewhere in nature. No, being psychic it's like being an alien. It's like being a green glowing alien right there where my third eye is. Yeah, it is very, very alien because I feel like I don't belong. And I see a lot of people are being peer pressured into wanting to belong, and they leave themselves in the dust in that process. I am not planning on doing this. I never was. I can't. I cannot ignore who I am. So interesting, because Jennifer Lawrence once in an interview said that her brother has said to her many times very mean things. He said to her, he's even said to her that he thinks she's ugly. He said that to this beautiful, 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 stunningly gorgeous woman. And immediately, it was like, whoa. That's the same thing that happened to me as well. And, well, to most people, I'm not stunning and I'm not beautiful. But there are some that said that to me. I don't know whether they mean it or I don't. But I like myself the way I am. I love myself the way I am. And I don't see myself in terms of vanity, beauty, ugly, any of this. I see myself as a precious living being. That's what matters. But that very feeling came up this morning, as I had already previously planned on making a video about Joy Dior. It gives me joy, even in phases of extreme sadness psychologically. So, no matter what happens, no matter whether no matter whether my family remains my friends or not, I'm staying true to myself. I will never trample on who I am to make someone else feel better. I would never do that. And a lot of people are doing it. I'm glad that Jennifer Lawrence isn't doing it either. She is who she is. She's true to herself. She's a critical thinker. And that's a wonderful thing. And I love her. And I love Joy Dior. And some people said Joy Dior is a perfume for little girls. I will say yes, it is a perfume for little girls and for big girls too. So it's a perfume for the soft characters, and it is a perfume also for strong characters. But the soft characters can be strong too. So that's why I make these videos, to encourage people that you can be strong too, even if you are a so-called soft character, as my friend Birgit was. And Birgit lost her life. She let the world crush her. So my friend Birgit energetically says to Emma Mertens, don't do what I did. Don't let the world crush you. Yeah. Say no. Okay. That's what Birgit and I both are saying to you and anyone out there. Say no to bullshit. And it doesn't matter who it is who's bullshitting or who is giving you a hard time. Energetically, sometimes very unconsciously, sometimes undetected by any of us. But if you notice it, if you become aware they're doing bullshit with me, you better talk to them. And if they're not willing to understand you, if they're not willing to introspect, to heal themselves and to bond better with you and to understand you better, to understand themselves better, if they choose separation from their family members, if they choose prestige and public acceptance over the connection to their family members, then that is their path that they're walking. So my message to my brother and to the brother of Jennifer Lawrence is, if you want connection with your sisters, if you want connection to your families, introspect, and that means have the guts, get the guts together, get the guts together to show yourselves with a chubby woman in public who might be dressed not according to the social code, the Berlin code or the LA code or the Armani code. Okay? So show yourself the way you are, your inner child. Show yourself with the creativity that you are, that you have. Bring it out. And don't worry for a second about what someone says or thinks or does or criticizes. It doesn't matter. That's their view, their opinion. It's not your business. It's not part of your life. Okay? Don't make it part of your lives. Okay? That's my message to all of us out there. And don't let the world crush you. Any of us, any of you, soft characters or children or girls. Girls are very vulnerable in this society. Young girls between 7 and 20, very vulnerable, tender flowers out there, like a young avocado tree. You can't put that young sapling outside in this cold winter. Young sapling. Bring their sapling into the house. Bring your animals. Bring all of your dogs, all of your beings, all of your animals, all of your rabbits, children into the house. Give them warmth, physical warmth and emotional warmth. Very, very important. People who are worried about their vanity, they are not tuned in to the infinite. They're not tuned in to emotional warmth. That's why you have to give up the self-image making to connect again with your sisters and brothers and family and animals, okay? And children and all beings. Very, very, very important. Throw the vanity out. The vanity, the prestige is coldness. Heat it up. Turn the heater on in the room and in your minds. Be good to all beings, so we can dissolve the stress in families, in society, so that people can heal, so that their immune systems can function again. Get rid of the pesticides. This is a general message for anyone. Very general. Everyone is responsible for making the world a better place. Every single person. You are not out of that picture. You are not an exempt. You're not an exception. You're not just one person. Every single person is just one person, but altogether we are 8 billion humans. And this together, it consists of every single one of us. You and everyone else. The biggest mistake that people always make is to say, oh, it doesn't matter whether I do this or not. Yes, it does. Because if everyone thinks that way, yeah, that's how an entire movement happens. You are responsible. Every one of you is responsible to say no to bullshit. Everyone is responsible to say no to peer pressure, to bullying, to negative commercials, corporate propaganda that is trying to make little girls feel inadequate, that's trying to make teenage girls into skeletons. Okay, it's trying to make men into losing their money to expensive clothes and perfumes. All that money that they just earned, it goes to rent, perfume and clothes because of self-image. You can spend your money wiser than that. You can save your money. You can build something. And you have to quit all substance abuse, including alcohol, nicotine, drugs of any sort, including pharmaceutical. Okay, that is my message to the world. Okay, you guys take care. Bye-bye.